Does ISQ inevitably decrease during the first 3 to 4 weeks? It doesn't have to. The idea that ISQ values decrease during the first 3 to 4 weeks after implant placement emerged in 1996 when Neil Meredith introduced resonance frequency analysis, enabling non-invasive and repeated measurement of implant stability. From 1997 onward, his work showed that implant stability changes over time. He also introduced the concept of primary mechanical stability and secondary biological stability. This concept was further supported in 2003 by R. Bearwall, who reported a pattern where ISQ values decrease during the early 3 to 4 weeks after placement and then increase again. This became widely recognized as the stability dip, or ISQ drop. In 2005, Raghavendra integrated previous findings into a unified model, illustrating the decrease in mechanical stability alongside the increase in biological stability. This schematic became the theoretical standard and remains widely used in dental education worldwide. At the same time, the ITI team, including experts such as Daniel Buser, Christoph Hemmerl, and David L. Cochran, established clinical guidelines based on these findings and disseminated the model globally through education and academic resources. As a result, the early decrease in ISQ came to be accepted as a natural and inevitable biological response. The key clinical question shifted to how to safely overcome this stability dip period. ISQ decrease is generally interpreted as a change in stability at the implant bone interface. It may be associated with mechanical strain generated during placement, particularly compressive forces applied to cortical bone, leading to localized resorption and bone remodeling. This response aligns with the mechanostat theory proposed by Harold Frost in 1994, which explains how bone adapts to strain levels. Similar biological responses have also been described in orthodontic bone remodeling by William Prophet. In other words, compressive force during implant placement increases local strain, which may induce osteonecrosis and early bone remodeling, ultimately resulting in a temporary decrease in ISQ. However, this phenomenon may not be purely biological. It may be influenced by implant design and surgical protocol. Most implant systems today maintain similar thread designs while increasing insertion torque through larger diameters or underdrilling. But this may reflect increased compressive force rather than true stability. Especially in soft bone, underdrilling can apply excessive compressive force to the thin cortical layer, potentially leading to compressive necrosis and early remodeling. Carl E. Misch also proposed that implant design, particularly thread geometry, should vary depending on bone density. While this approach influences initial fixation and stress distribution, it still carries the risk of increased compressive force and strain on cortical bone. Ultimately, many of these approaches are based on the assumption that ISQ decrease is natural and unavoidable. But what if initial stability could be achieved without compression? Would the outcome be different? Could ISQ decrease be not a biologic inevitability, but a design-driven phenomenon? In 2009, MegaGen introduced the Annie-Ridge system, which functionally separates the fixture into two components, the body and the thread. The body is responsible for long-term mechanical stability, while the thread plays a key role in achieving initial fixation. Even in low bone density, stable initial fixation can be achieved without underdrilling by maintaining the core while increasing thread depth. Additionally, the fixture body is designed to avoid direct contact with the bony wall, minimizing lateral compression. The key to implementing this concept is the knife thread design. Unlike conventional threads that compress bone, knife threads cut and engage the bone. They are designed to engage the bone perpendicularly, reducing the compressive forces associated with tangential engagement. As a result, high insertion torque and high initial ISQ can be achieved across various bone densities, while minimizing bone damage and creating a favorable biomechanical environment. With reduced compression, early bone resorption is minimized, and the extent of bone remodeling may be reduced or limited. This allows stable initial fixation to be maintained without a decrease in ISQ. Therefore, the widely accepted ISQ drop phenomenon may not be a biological inevitability, but rather a design-dependent outcome influenced by how the implant engages the bone. ISQ decrease is not something that must occur. It depends on how stability is achieved. This challenges the conventional clinical paradigm. ISQ decrease is not inevitable. It is a result of how we design and engage the bone.